Bob Melvin is with the Giants. That happened officially today. Melvin, 11 years in Oakland, 5 with Arizona before that. But the last 2 with the Padres where things went sideways a bit. He was asked about that before he was reunited with Farhan Zaidi in San Francisco.
All things considered, this opportunity came about, and for all the reasons I stated, this feels like the right one for me. But I very much enjoyed my time in San Diego. It just seems like with a lot of things that were popping up there, it just was time to move on.
A lot of things that were popping up there. He didn't want to elaborate too much on that. I get it. By the way, Farhan Zaidi, the head of baseball operations there with San Francisco, also his contract extended to 2026. You saw him, former A's executive and with the Giants now. All right, thoughts on Bob Melvin and going there?
One, I think everybody, got exactly what they wanted. I think Bob Melvin wanted out of San Diego, and he was able to get out of San Diego. I think A.J. Preller, the president of baseball operations, wanted to move on from Bob Melvin. When you start to think about the relationship between the front office and the field staff, the manager, that has to be a collective effort where both people are on the same sheet of music. Right. Because if that messaging is not being delivered properly to the deployment of the players, it's going to impact the product on the field. We all can sit here and try to speculate right, wrong, or indifference or what happened in San Diego. The one thing I think we all can come to an agreement, they didn't get along. So whether Bob Melvin want to speak to it or A.J. Preller want to speak to it, now neither of them have to speak to it.
You know what else, Bo?
Because they moved on.
You're absolutely right. Well put. Also, on top of that, they're not winning. Like, you cannot get along. There can be dysfunction. You're winning.
Winning could be the cure. Winning could be the cure.
It was affecting there was something on the product on the field that was not working, and that does speak to Melvin. Like, the manager does have like a direct impact on that. It wasn't happening.
Yeah, I mean, last year, San Diego, everything may have been exactly the same in terms of the organizational chaos internally, but they had a good year. They got to the NLCS, and it was like, all right, this will work.
Yeah.
This year, they're on that list with the Mets and the Yankees of, high-priced, big payroll teams that had disappointing years, didn't make the postseason. And when you look at the Padres roster and how stacked it is, or at least how stacked it was in 2023, you look at Darvish and Snell and Hader and Machado and Soto and Tatis and Bogarts. How does this team not make the playoffs?
It's one of the stunning things in baseball.
That might have been a team that I would have had as big a lock as any other, especially with the expanded playoff field, to get to the postseason this year. And the fact that they didn't, clearly there was something going on within the organization that just wasn't clicking.
You know what's amazing is, as it turns out, with their late surge, which was going nowhere, but they finished 2 games behind the Diamondbacks, who are in the World Series now. Mike Schilt is within that organization already. His name has been bandied about as the future there. But what would work in San Diego? Because it seems like what they've had, again, here's 6 managers, and it was kind of thought that, hey, you can't have Jace Tingler hasn't done it before, and Andy Green hasn't been the top guy. Pat Murphy is more of a bench coach. All right, but Bud Black was there. Bob Melvin was there. It's like, all right, so what will work? Because these are some successful baseball coaches and managers, but somehow they got bounced.
Sometimes when you start to think about things that you fail at, it actually leads you to success. And if you're A.J. Preller, you have an opportunity now to actually take a step back, look inward, and say, all right, I've had this number of managers. These are the things that didn't work. Right. And I really think it will be a great opportunity for him to actually listen to some of the people around him, because the way you see something may not be the way that everybody else is looking at it. But this is solely going to be on him to make the right hire this time around.
Yeah, the window is there, but as you know, the window
it has nothing to do. The roster, the talent, the ability to evaluate and get the right players. They were my pick to win the World Series.
Yeah,
because of the roster.
Yeah.
This comes down to collaboration and making sure that, from a leadership standpoint, you get everyone pulling the rope in the same direction.
It was fascinating just to watch what happened. Some big Mets, Padres, and what happened.